right? So how do I prevent from losing money? Well, part of that would be the investment itself. Invest in things that can't or don't lose, or if they do lose, you've got intrinsic value and assets behind them so you can recover. And borrow against your sacred account first. So that if the investment loses, your sacred account didn't, and you've still got that cash there, and you've still got all that growth in the future earnings of it, right? So this is a big deal. This is something that people don't look at. They don't focus on. Now, I want to give you an illustration on investing, right? So let's say that we've got two investments. We've got investment A and we've got investment B, okay? And we've got a 5-year time horizon. We've got year 1, we've got year 2, we've got year 3, we've got year 4, and we've got year 5, right? Now, let's say that investment A grows like this. It does 50% in year 1, loses 50% in year 2, does 50% in year 3, loses 50% in year 4, and it does 50% in year 5 over a 5-year period, okay? And I want to look at what is my annual return based on this, right? So if I made 50, lost 50, this cancels out. If I made 50, lost 50, this cancels out. I've got positive 50 left, right? 50 divided by 5 years is what? 10. So you could look at this and be like, okay, my account's up 50% in year 5. I must have made 10%, right? Now over here, we have account B. Account B does 10%. It does 10%. It does 10%. It does 10%. And it does 10%. So we add all these up, right? 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, is 50. We take all of this, 50 divided by 5, and it's also 10%. Okay. Now I used to look at this and I would be like, okay, these guys made the same money, right? But here's the truth is they didn't. I'm going to pull up my calculator to illustrate this point. So let's say that in year 1, let's say that I did this with $100,000. I'm going to go ahead and just share my calculator for you. Okay, so I did this with $100,000. I put $100,000 in the investment, and in year 1, it made 50%. So I'm going to multiply this by 1.5. Okay, I'm celebrating. I'm like, wow, I just put 100 grand in. It turned into 150,000, right? Well, in year 2, it lost 50%. So we divide it by what? 2. It got lopped in half. Okay, I'm down to 75. I'm like, okay, it's less than I put in. I can make it back. Year 3, I make 50% again. So I multiply by 1.5. Okay, I'm back up. I'm celebrating. I'm excited. This is really good. Okay, that was year 3. Year 4, I lose 50% again. So I divide the account value by 2. I'm down to 56 grand. Okay, year 5, I make another 50. So we're going to multiply this by 1.5 again. And I've got $84,375. Okay, I started with 100 and I made 50, lost 50, made 50, lost 50, and then made 50. And if I divide that 50 that I made, the final 50 by 5 years, it's like, yeah, it looks like I made 10%. But we're seeing that I actually have 84K. Right? So I actually started with less, even though it might look like my return's there. Why is that? Because when I lose money, it takes me twice to bring it back versus what I lost. I can't just make 50% and be back to normal. 50% is half. Okay, I've got to do it again in order to get back to break even. Okay, so this 84K is not a profit. I didn't make money on that, right? Now, same thing. Let's look at the 10%. Okay, so I put money into an investment. It's that same 100,000. And in year 1, I make 10%. And then in year 2, I make 10%. And then in year 3, I make 10%. And then in year 4, I make 10%. And then year 5, I make 10%. Okay, so I'm up to $161,051. Okay, 10% return. actual 10% return because why? I didn't lose money, right? So I have 161,000. I've got basically double what this guy has. See, all returns are not created equal. And so this is the importance with investing of not losing money, right? So if I can invest in this way where I don't have the losses, I don't have the ups and downs, then I can get stable returns like this. Okay. Now, if I couple this also with putting money in the sacred account and having that 100K growing at 3 to 5% the whole time I'm using it, like I'm going to have even more. Okay. So the point I'm trying to drive home on this is there's so many ways to lose money. Most of them are things we don't conventionally think about. If I didn't earn as much income as I could, that was a loss. Okay. If I didn't earn enough so that I could save more, that was a loss. If I didn't save a higher percentage, that was a loss. If I put the money in a savings vehicle that didn't give me the growth that I needed, that was a loss. Okay. If it locks me up so I don't have liquidity and there's opportunity cost there and I can't use it for other things, that was also a loss. If I can't grow the money in 2 locations at one time versus a place where I could, if I'm not doing that, that's a loss. If I lose an investment, that's a loss. If I put it into an investment and didn't borrow against it, so I make more money on the back end, that's also a loss. Like there's so many ways to lose money that we're not even aware of, right? Like when I was a kid, I thought you could lose money 2 ways. You lose it, you spend it, or you gamble it or invest it in something and it goes away. I didn't realize there's all these different ways. This again goes back to the knowledge thing. Okay, if I don't have this knowledge, I don't have the awareness level to say, okay, where am I losing money right now? Okay, where am I not capitalizing on opportunity costs? Where am I not preventing, low income, low savings rate? And that's what my company helps people do really. If you're wondering, what does Wealth Dynamics do? How can we actually help you? Number one, if you haven't gotten a copy of my book, Blueprint to Financial Freedom, grab one now. You can get that down in the comments in the video. You can get the link for that. And finally, if you have a desire to start getting help walking through these different phases toward financial freedom, book a call with my team. Go to our website, set up a call. We're able to help out and answer questions. That's how we can help you. Thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you turn notifications on, and I will talk to you guys on the next video.